Have you ever wondered how a simple, dark piece of rock can eventually power an entire city? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. The incredible journey from a lump of coal to the raw energy that makes our world run. It's a wild ride of fire and force, so let's get into it. Seriously, think about it. How does this become the power for all that? It feels like it should be magic, right? But it's not. It's actually a fascinating chain reaction, a mix of chemistry and clever engineering. And today, we're going to break down that chain, starting right at the very beginning.
All right, first up, the source. Because everything, and I mean everything, starts with the raw material itself. This entire massive process of generating power, it all hinges on one single, humble, but incredibly powerful ingredient.
And yep, that ingredient is coal. For what we're talking about today, you can just think of it as the fuel. It's basically a rock packed with stored-up energy just waiting for us to let it out. This is square one, the very first link in our power chain.
So, we've got our fuel. The big question is, how do we get that energy out of the coal? Well, you need a pretty powerful reaction. To get all that potential energy out of the coal, you have to do something we're all familiar with. You have to burn it. By setting it on fire, we're starting a chemical reaction that converts the energy locked inside that rock into a totally new, much more active form: heat.
And this right here is the whole point. The entire system is built to harness what the source material calls the thermal energy of burning of coal. It's all about one thing: capturing the immense heat that comes from this fire.
Okay, so you have a giant, roaring fire. That's great and all, but it's pretty useless if you can't actually capture its energy, right? And that brings us to the next crucial step, the transfer. You can't just point a bonfire at a city and hope for the best. All that raw, intense heat needs to be captured, controlled, and put to work. And the solution is actually a brilliant piece of engineering that uses something we see every single day.
Meet the hero of this part of the story, the boiler. This thing is the absolute heart of the operation. It's basically a giant, super strong, sealed-up container designed to do one job perfectly: use the crazy heat from the burning coal to boil massive amounts of water. This is where the magic really starts to happen. Because inside this boiler, we're not just, making a cup of tea. A fundamental change is happening. We're about to change the very state of water from a liquid to a gas, creating an unbelievably powerful force. The whole process is incredibly precise. Water gets pumped into the boiler, but it doesn't just slosh around. It flows through this massive, complicated network of pipes, kind of like a maze. This design makes sure as much water as possible gets exposed to the intense heat from the fire raging below.
And here's the payoff. As that water absorbs all that heat, it violently boils and transforms into high-pressure, high-energy steam. Just like that, the energy that was locked away in a solid piece of coal has now been transferred into this incredibly powerful gas.
So we've burned the coal, we've created a whole lot of steam, but what is the actual output? What have we really made at the end of this stage? Every single step we just went through, finding the coal, burning it, using the boiler to make steam, it's all been carefully engineered to lead to one very specific result. And here it is: thermal energy. That is the official name for the energy that's now contained within that superheated, high-pressure steam. We've officially taken the stored-up energy from a solid rock and converted it into the raw, usable power of a gas. That's the whole goal of this part of the power station. So let's just recap that whole journey real quick. It's a simple but really powerful chain reaction. Step 1, we burn coal. Step 2, that creates heat, which enters the boiler. Step 3, the heat boils water. And Step 4, that process creates our final product, thermal energy locked inside the steam. So now we've got our thermal energy. We have this immense amount of power, captured and waiting in all that steam. But that's not electricity yet, is it? So how do we get from this point, from black rock to pure power, all the way to turning on your lights? Well, that is a story for our next explainer.